First off, I just want to get my major out of the way because I feel like that's like the least important thing about me right now. Because not to say that it's a bad degree or anything, but I'm just going for an associate's in arts because I'm still kind of feeling things out. I don't really know what I want to do yet. The only reason I'm actually in college is because I have military benefits. So kind of just cashing in on that. I earned the opportunity. It seemed like a waste for me not to go to college when I have free college. So I figured I'd baby step it with the associates in arts and then slowly feel things out and figure it out from there. I come from a very prideful and uncreative family. They're, and I mean that in the negative way it sounds. They're not really the best people, but they're not the worst people either, you know? Just keeping it honest. I was named after my father, and he was named after his father as well. My name is Jose Cristobal Gonzalez. Not the third, not the second, nothing like that. Like I said, we're uncreative. We just kept it the same way. I used to always joke and say, like, oh, we're Latino. We couldn't afford the other numbers and the stamps on it. So that's how I kind of got over that. I just go by Chris, though. My dad kind of did the same thing. He went by the middle name in a shortened version. He goes by Toby. And I decided to go by Chris because I wanted to change it up. I didn't want to be like them. My middle name, Cristobal, it actually means bearer of light. Like translated from Spanish, like Spain Spanish. And I don't think that kind of fits me at all because I'm not really like a good person who's trying to bring out the best in people in the smoothest way. I'm kind of a jerk sometimes, and I recognize that, and I'm trying to work on that. So if I come off a little too harsh to you guys, I apologize. You can check me if you need to. It's totally fine. For memory of past event, I have a couple actually. I feel like they're pretty defining to who I am as a person and the reason I react or approach certain situations because of these things that happen to me. When I was 3 years old, my parents died in a car accident. Like my parents and my little sister. For the first 2 months after that accident, none of my family came to pick me up. I wasn't with them in the accident. I was just incognito. I don't really remember that time at all because I was so young. I was in foster care from what I understand for a couple months. And then my mom's family came to pick me up. So cool, they finally came for me, you know. My parents dying isn't actually the worst thing that can happen to me. I know that sounds pretty harsh and it's a rough start, but I think going through it so young kind of helped me cope with it in ways so like I can just move past it young and just focus on me in the future, you know? Probably a little bit morbid way to think about it, but I mean, I'm working with what I got, you know? When I turned 17, I shipped out to the military, and that typically doesn't happen, joining so young. You have to get a special waiver to do it. It's a lot of paperwork and extra paperwork for me, even because I was the last of kin in my family. There was no one else in my bloodline, so that was a kind of complicated situation to go for. But I recognized I wasn't really going anywhere after high school, and I didn't have money to pay for college, so I was like, this is my opportunity. I'm going to go for it. So I did that, and got stationed in Japan. While I was in Japan, since I joined so young, life insurance money and all that with my parents finally came up when I was 17. Since I was so young, my grandparents had to co-sign with that, and while I was overseas, they actually embezzled 40 grand from me. So that's another experience that I had to go through and learn to cope with. Despite all that, like I think one of my better character traits is that I can joke and smile about it regardless. Like I know it sucks and it's kind of harsh, but like the way I see it, I'm practically halfway to Batman. I mean, I got the dead parents, I just need the kung fu moves and the money, you know, and I'm Batman, you know, so. The quote I want to end with is, blood is thicker than water. I'm sure you guys heard that. It's not really the full meaning of it. It actually is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. That's the actual term. I feel like overall those things that happened to me in my time in the military, meeting you guys in college, I've made in my own family. My name's Chris Gonzalez. I love you guys.